Hello everybody and welcome back. Today I'm going to be filming a full face of drugstore makeup. There's a few new things here that I'm very intrigued by and I can't wait to test them out today. But before we get into the makeup look, today's video is kindly sponsored by Ritual, so a huge thank you to them. I've been taking Ritual's essential multivitamins for almost a year now. Taking these is one of my first steps in my morning routine that makes me feel the happiest and the most productive. These are vegan friendly, non-GMO, gluten and allergen free. These are great because they can be taken with or without food, which I find to be very convenient, so I don't have to plan to take them around a meal. They have a delayed release capsule, so they're very gentle on an empty stomach. One of my top favorite things about these multivitamins is that they taste good. They have a mint or lemon coating to them, which just makes the whole process easier. I prefer the mint flavor. I love how there are no shady fillers or colorants or any additives, and Ritual is very forthcoming and transparent where they source their ingredients from. I also like taking a multivitamin because I find it to be more convenient, and I know it's probably filling in some nutrient gaps I have in my diet just by taking 2 little capsules a day. So if you're interested in trying out Ritual, you can use my code 20Julia for 20% off your first month. Another big thank you to Ritual for sponsoring today's video. But now let's get into the makeup. I want to try this again. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Perfector. It's a 4-in-1 glow situation. I've tried this a few times in a few different ways and I feel like I forget it all the time. I think it's because there's so many glow boosters out on the market right now, and I adore the e.l.f. Halo Glow so much, so I feel like this one is living in the shadows. I used it as a BB cream before I left for my vacation once when I went to the grocery store, and I think I liked it, so I'm going to try it that way again. Let's see. I have the shade 01 Light, and if I need more coverage or anything like that, I'll just use my concealer. This does feel quite fun to apply it with the sponge tip everywhere. It feels kind of cooling. And as you can probably tell, I took off that sweater. I was having a steam attack. Okay, that's probably good enough. I was just having a little bit of fun scribbling it all over my face. Kind of got zoned out there. And I'm going to use my MAC 170 brush to blend that out. I do enjoy how thin it is. I think that applicator allows you to apply like the perfect amount without it being too much and too thick. BB-8, quiet on set. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not like completely wowed by it. I'm sitting here like, it's nice, but yeah, it's just lacking something for me. So now moving on, there's going to be quite a few e.l.f. things featured in this video. I just got back from an e.l.f. trip and they let us raid their stock, and there's things from them that I didn't even know existed, so I'm excited to try them out today. One of the things being this e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. Ooh, this might be a little light. I think I made a mistake. Let's start with that. I mean, that is bright. That's going to be an eye brightener, if anything. That's not going to be my concealer, and I feel like it's not doing a great job at covering anyways. So I'm going to actually layer on another concealer, which I do have another one I haven't tried before. This is the Covergirl Simply Ageless Triple Action Concealer. I purchased this because it has a porcelain applicator, which is odd and kind of interesting. I feel like it's going to feel really nice, but for a concealer, it doesn't pick up much product, huh? Which maybe that's okay. Maybe a little of this goes a long way. And I have the shade Light in this. It does feel kind of nice. Felt good on my sinuses over here. Seems to be going at war with whatever I have going on, or maybe the damp sponge. It seems to be just sitting on top of my skin in a weird way. Because I wanted to add a little bit more coverage in the center of my face, I'm just gonna grab my NYX Bear With Me concealer in the shade Beige. I'm going to take some on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to smudge it about and add some coverage, and I'm taking that MAC brush again. I prefer this concealer, the NYX one, as a foundation so much more than their blur stuff that they came out with. This stuff right here. After I filmed that video using this, it like dawned on me that these two products, although they're in the same line, they make no sense to go together. Like, this is a matte foundation that really blurs, whereas this is a very hydrating, glowy product. What? I don't know what they were thinking with that, but it's okay. The quality of the Bear With Me concealer makes up for it. To set my under eyes, I'm going to be using my Wet n Wild Bare Focus Clarifying Finishing Powder in the shade Translucent, and I'm setting that with my e.l.f. Powder Poof. Always make sure to even out the concealer creases if there are any, and then powder it. While we were visiting e.l.f.'s headquarters, they were asking us what some of our favorite products were, and I mentioned this powder, and they're like, you know, that's ancient. I thought this was a new product from like last year. I had no idea. They were like, we don't even have that in the office anymore. And I was like, you better not be discontinuing it. I don't think they are, but apparently this is ancient. Had no idea. Speaking of this poor baby, look how rough its condition is right now. It's lost its little cap. Sad. I'm going to be using my NYX Wonder Sticks. I'm going to use the shade Universal Light to give my cheeks some depth here. And this is a bronzing tone for my skin tone. So I like to apply it a little higher than I would a contour. I think I'm good for highlighter. I think I'm glowy enough. I think you guys can agree. I'm going to move on to blush, and I'm going to try one of the Luminous Putty blushes from e.l.f. I've tried the Luminous bronzer, which I prefer over the original Putty bronzer. So I wonder how I'm gonna like this. Ooh, this looks like a lovely color. This is the shade Barbados. Why is this sounding super familiar? Have I tried these before? I feel like I'm going crazy. I don't think I have. Ooh, that is a really cute color. It looks good with my red hair, but I like how it's a little pinkier too. I thought it was going to be too rusty and orangey, but that's nice. And it's actually really nice and luminous. It's not glittery. They feel very similar to the original too, whereas I saw a huge difference between the original Putty bronzer and the Luminous Putty bronzer. I'm taking my powder puff again with that Wet n Wild powder, and I like to smooth out the powder in the palm of my hand like so I don't have any like line of demarcation, because that can screw things up. And I'm going to set the center of my face now that I'm done. Whoa, okay, I'm adding too much. Uh-oh. Okay, I don't think this is a powder puff kind of powder because it's too white. Uh-oh. Fret not. I'm taking a clean powder brush. I'm just going to blend this in. I'm saying this like I know how to fix this right now. Okay. I'm going to incorporate a little bit of this. This is the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray, just to hydrate things again. And while I let this sink in and set down, I'm going to do my brows off camera, so please enjoy the brow intermission. I thought I messed my entire base up setting it with too much powder, but I saved it. It's looking good again. So now for my eyes, I know I want to get creative, but I'm not feeling very creative. So I'm going to look at my Pinterest board. I know there must be something nice and juicy in there. Oh, I found this one. I'm gonna pop it up on screen so you can see it better. But instead of those little gems, maybe I'll do it with these little pearls I have from e.l.f. here. This could be fun. But I also wanted to show you the few things I didn't know e.l.f. had. So they have this beautiful green eyeshadow. I'm not going to use it today because I feel like I've been doing way too many green looks, but this is the shade Aurora, and it's in one of their metallic liquid shadows. Look at that. It's so nice, and it kind of has a teal shift to it too. They also have a black putty eye primer, which I think this would be amazing for smoky eyes as a base. It's a bit sheer, which is what you kind of want when you're starting out a smoky eye. They also have these little gel liners. This is in the shade Coffee, and they feel very nice and slippy, and it's a gorgeous brown. Like what? I'm sure you'll be seeing these shortly. I gave this look a little practice. I think hers is better than mine. It's just a different look. I just took inspiration from it. So I'm going to be using two shades in the e.l.f. No Budge Cream Shadows. I'm using the shade Sand Dune and this shade called Wildflower. So like a nice brown and a nice lavender. So I'm starting with the brown, and I'm taking this little blending brush from BK Beauty. It's the A504. And I'm going to wipe a majority of that stuff off because I want a sheer amount. I grabbed way too much. Oh my goodness. And I'm going to put this in my inner corner. patting it out with my finger. Then I'm grabbing a different brush. This is a Smith Cosmetics 253, and I'm going to follow the angle of my lower lash line. And I'm taking a more opaque amount of this. And I'm blending this out pretty far. Now I'm going to switch over to Wildflower, which is the lavender. And I'm taking this F1 brush from Glisten. And I'm going into this little pocket here, and I'm bringing it outwards, making sure it kind of drifts off and blends out, whereas it's more detailed and controlled in the inner corner. With that same brush, I'm going to do a nice wing, following the angle of the lower one we did. There's like a helicopter circling around my house. I don't know. They're coming for you, BB-8. I just have to make this one wider just to accommodate more pearls. There. I think that's good. And because I wanted to make it a little bit more my own, I felt like it needed something in the center. So I took some of my NYX Ultimate Glow Shots, one in the shade Come Through Coconut and the other Plum Player. I took Plum Player first, took some of each on the back of my hand, and then I swirled my brush into the pink one first, grabbing a little bit of that pink shimmer. There's the helicopter again. I wonder what's happening. I'm gonna go investigate. And then I just brushed this on. Wiping that brush off, I did the exact same thing in the white one. Pardon me, I'm going to go look and be nosy. Yeah, it's literally circulating around my house. Someone's in trouble. I'm like, what did I do? I haven't left the house in a few days. I'm fine. So now let's get into the pearls. So I'm going to be taking one of these medium-sized ones first. I'm putting that right in this nook. And then I'm going to use the smallest size. I feel very aerial right now. Now for my lashes, I really want to use more of these Kiss Falscara lashes. I think these are so interesting. I'm going to be using these Bambi Wisps, and these ones are brown, so I'm going to use a brown mascara. I have this Lash and Roll in brown, so let's see how it goes. They were talking about how this was their newest mascara and how it's super flake resistant, and I was sitting there like, because I find this one to be pretty flaky, but maybe the brown one's different. I wanted to get your guys' opinion on like the direction e.l.f. is taking more and more. They're definitely becoming more of like a duping brand, and they even were alluding to that, which I kind of feel 50-50 on, because in one way I really like the products that they come out with and create on their own, but I also think it's fun to get these more high-end products from the drugstore and they make them cruelty-free and everything like that. It's actually a really nice brown mascara. I feel like it's actually translating as brown and not like a brown black. So I used some of these lashes in my last video. I don't know what order my videos are going to be going up, so maybe this is the first time I'm featuring these, but these are the Kiss Falscaras, and these lashes were created to apply underneath of your lash for a more natural effect, and they thought of everything. I think these are super cool and exciting. I have been enthralled by them. And I love applying lashes underneath my lashes. I feel like it looks more natural and it's more comfortable in my opinion. So I'm going to use some of the starter kit, which comes with this dual-sided glue. And again, I'm using the Bambi Wisps. So they look like this. There's 4 sizes. I think I'm going to take maybe 2 mediums and a small, or maybe 1 medium and a small. We'll see how I like them. But it's really interesting. You first take this dual-sided stuff, and I'm taking the Bond side first, and it looks like a little brow brush pretty much, and you just sweep this onto your lashes, and you don't need too much of it. You do it onto your actual lashes, like so. Then you gently grab a wisp with the applicator. I kind of like to grab them near the end of the wisp, and then you look up, and then the glue on your lashes, just grab them. It's so easy. I'm going to grab another medium. I like that size actually. These are really nice. And then I'm going to place that one right beside, And I think I want maybe one more. And it's fun because you can design your own lash pattern. And for this last one, I'm taking a small. Like that. And I like to kind of press them into my lashes. And I know some of you are probably like, oh my god, is it going to be sticky because it's all over your lashes? No, because then you go in with the seal side and you just coat them again. And this takes away all of the sticky residue. They thought of everything. I am so excited about this product. And see, now look at the difference. It's very subtle, but you see, it just looks very natural, especially if I look down. Hopefully this looks good. I didn't really check. See, they just look like my lashes or lash extensions. You can't really see the band at all. It just looks good. And let's see what it looks like when I look up. I'm going to do this eye and I'll be right back. I just finished this eye. I haven't been interested in falsies in so long until right now. This is just so smart. And like, look how good they look. I can't. Now I have a few things I want to try on. So I purchased another shade in my L'Oreal Glow Paradise lipsticks. I have the shade 200 Mulberry Bliss. I want to see what it looks like. Okay, it's kind of more cooler toned than I was expecting, but that's cute. But I don't like it for this look. I got more shades in the NYX Fat Lip Drip Oils. I got them online at Shoppers Drug Mart. I want to try this pink shade in Supermodel. I was curious to see what this one looked like because it's shimmery, but it doesn't look metallic on the lips, which I like. It's actually quite sheer. That's cute. That's very cute. I want to do a little short trying all of these on. And I also got another shade in the AF 94 Give 'em Lip High Shine Lip Gloss. This is the shade Honey I'm Home. It looks gorgeous. I wanted to see what the tinted versions of these were like. And the answer is amazing. It feels exactly the same. Wow, that is beautiful. And then the last lip product, I'm not going to swatch all of these, but these are the O-Face lipsticks. The whole reason why I went to LA with e.l.f. Was for this launch. And there was a few, now that I'm home, that I wanted to swatch to other higher end shades. The shade Dirty Talk is supposed to be a good dupe for Pillow Talk, and No Regrets is supposed to be a good dupe for MAC Ruby Woo. Oh yeah. Which one is which? This is the O-Face and No Regret, and this is Ruby Woo. Now let's see Dirty Talk and Pillow Talk. Pretty close, pretty close. This is Pillow Talk and this is Dirty Talk. Why do I do this to myself? I give myself way too many options. The black would be really cool, but I don't want to try it on and ruin my surrounding makeup. Oh, what do I do? I just lined my lips with Rare Beauty Humble. I don't have a correct shade for what I have in mind. So I'm going to use Dirty Talk from e.l.f. first. I'm going to do a little combo because this is a bit lighter. Oops, not in frame at all. Sorry. And then I want to use one of these on top. I think this will be really cute. So cute. So good. Oh, this actually turned out really good. Okay, I'm happy. And here is my finished makeup look. What do you guys think? I think this turned out super cute. I actually don't mind my skin anymore. It's settled really well. I was a bit nervous there. I thought I was going to have to wipe it off and restart. I would love to know if there's any products that you'd like to see me try from the drugstore. Leave them in the comments down below. But before I head out, I wanted to say another huge thank you to Ritual for sponsoring today's video. Again, you can use my code 20Julia for 20% off your first month. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to give this video a like. I'll make sure to link and list everything in the description down below to make things easier for you all, so feel free to check that out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!